At AP cost. We can do that in like 3 seconds for sure. Command entry. Damage type, command name, command icon. Where do we position the cost? Here we have charges. I kind of don't want charges to be where they are. I want charges to be down there. And then let's duplicate these two. Call this AP cost. AP cost text. And then we move them back up again. And this should be the AP gauge. That's way too big in reality, but for now it'll have to do. Command entry needs even more shit. But I'm gonna get some more coffee. we go. Oh, I got some coffee. Got some cheese. Oh, man's art. How's it going? Ooh. Okay. So we need another text. That's gonna be AP cost text, and we need another image. Gonna be AP cost. And then we're gonna say AP cost text dot text equals action dot AP cost dot toString. And that's it, I guess. I mean, not everything might have an AP cost, but I think we'll just always show the AP cost thing anyway. Make sure that, yeah, this one is 0. And then here we have to add AP cost dot color. AP cost text dot color. And do the same thing here. That. AP cost text. And that should be it. Yep, 2. 4, 6, 3, 2. The cooldown and the charges could be in the same place always, because that's like a limitation and it'll always have like either it has none or it has cooldown or it has charges. It's never gonna have combination of charges and cooldown. Could, but I think that just is overcomplicated. It could. They do that in Tree of Savior. They call them overheats, so that once you get your cooldown back, you get like 3 or 4 or 5 charges of the ability. But I think that's overcomplicated, and it doesn't really make sense here. It makes more sense in a real-time game where you just mash the button more. But as you can see, it's not ideal. Because now this is like encroaching on the namespace. So this would have to be designed a little bit more elaborately. Maybe have an actual like area for the name specifically. I'm not sure. Because as it is, you can't have names that are particularly long. Plus, these are a little bit they're big and they're like not big enough at the same time right now. So it's kind of weird. Go art next. Add armor mitigation. We can also do that. That's also simple. Apply damage. So here we first modify our damage up. And then we apply the damage. However, we need to reduce the damage. So object data dot armor, no. LOT object data. I'm gonna sneeze. It sneezed and burped at the same time. Oh shit. Object data dot armor type. Armor type. Armor type is 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna say damage type And then here we're gonna say case damage type none. Oh, what the fuck is damage type none? Never mind. Damage type slashing is also none. Case damage type piercing, damage shred molt equals 1. Break. Case damage type crushing, damage shred molt equals 2. Break. Okay. And then we're gonna say int armor molt equals armor type cast to int. And then we're gonna say int total molt equals armor molt minus damage shred molt. If total molt is less than 0, then total molt equals 0. And then we're gonna say load damage mitigated equals modified damage times 1 minus total molt times 0.2. I already regretted drinking coffee once today, and now I'm drinking another mug. Total moron. I'll be right back. Oh, there we go. There, and now we have damage mitigated there, right? So then this is gonna say current health is modified damage minus damage mitigated, right? Because this is gonna be no damage mitigated is modified damage. Let's say we reduce by 20%, then this is 1 minus 20%, right? So then this becomes 80% of modified damage. So this is not how much damage we've mitigated. This is how much damage we're going to deal exactly. So in reality, it should be like this. So damage mitigated is going to be, if this is 0, then this is gonna be 0, and then we're gonna mitigate 0 damage. If it's 20%, if this is 1, that means this is a 20% mitigation. Then we're gonna do that. This is gonna have to change later. It doesn't make sense. This kind of just lets me do armor calculations easy. So then here we do current health is modified damage minus damage mitigated, and low total damage applied equals that. So here we have normalized value. So now that's that. And then here we are sending in a string, which is this, the modified damage, but it's gonna now be total damage applied to string plus a space and a parentheses that says minus plus damage mitigated. Now this is a little bit of an issue, so let's do this instead. Let's say string damage to string equals total damage applied to string. And then we're gonna say if damage mitigated is greater than 0, then we'll add this as well. Damage to string plus equals this. And then this is just going to be damage to string. That. And then we'll just have to try it and see what happens. So now if we use overhead slash on this guy, he has medium armor. Now her damage is greatly mitigated. It was reduced by 20. It was supposed to do 50, but it was reduced to 30 because of his armor. In reality, I want an icon in there, but I can't put icons and stuff there because we're not using our own in-house text system quite yet. So it's just Unity's system. So I can't easily put PNGs into the mix. And now here you can see yeah, that does make sense. However, this is a problem, right? So I have to figure out how to do this. I think I'll do some kind of queue system for the text. So that once she gets stabbed, it'll pop up the 30 first, right? And then the 3 is gonna be queued. And then the 3 comes afterwards. Just a little while, not long. Hello, Abby. Thanks. His shadow is flipped. We're not gonna do a long stream. I'm just probably like 2 hours. I'm just trying to catch up for some missed time today. Waiting for my food to be bearable. So let's add that. Q damage text pop-ups. Avoid overlap. What is this game about? I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it's about it's a tactical RPG. That's what it is. I don't know if that's what it's about, but that is what it is. Right now I'm just working on a bunch of combat stuff. Oh yeah, the cooldowns don't actually work. Yeah, we I have cooldowns, but I don't have cooldown. It can go on cooldown, but it can't stop being on cooldown. So we need to do that, I guess. Wait, did that bug? Wait. Don't tell me it did the actual bug. Oh, the bug is still there? How is the bug still there? What the fuck? I have an idea of what might solve it. But there's a bug that causes a when I spawn a light source like that and the light source doesn't move, sometimes it doesn't look right. Like here. When it starts here, you can see the light. At first, it's like half. It's like a half circle. And then it fixes itself. Hello, Jano. How's it going? His name is Ian. I don't know what you're complaining about. But I think this issue has to do with the thing not being updated. So if we go and take a look at I don't know if you were like actually confused and was like accidentally leaving comments or what. Will your game have better story than Final Fantasy? Sure fucking hope so, dude. I think Gibbs will cry if he doesn't write a better story than Final Fantasy. No, I actually have quite a lot of hope for our story because I think Gibbs has a really good feel for writing. Is this your job or just a side job? I mean, both at this. Actually, FF have a nice story, at least 12 and 7. 7's story is absolute fucking garbage. It's literally not a real story. It's just fucking dribble. The whole thing is so fucking stupid. The only reason people think it's good story is because it was like their first game and that they like don't understand it. Crisis Core. If you say Crisis Core, I don't know what to say. Because Crisis Core has the worst story in the entire Final Fantasy franchise, except for maybe Final Fantasy IV The After Years. Because the Final Fantasy IV The After Years is a mobile game. Bye, Froggy. Crisis Core is like... It was like Gact was like, hey, I want to make a game with you guys. And they were like, okay, let's write a story about how Gact's character is like super cool. And then the entire game has literally no story except that Gact is cool. And then you kill Gact. And then the story ends. It's so bad. Oh my god, it is so awful. Just a bunch of corridors, dude. Like... the level of most game stories is so low that the worst movies or the worst TV shows that you can imagine have 10 times better stories than the best story games. It's so sad. Because I really enjoy storytelling and story games, but they're just not good. There's like... I want to say there's barely even a single good story game. I can barely think of any. Like, The Witcher 3, I think, has the best writing out of pretty much any video game, but the story is shit. It's just that it has really good side quests, but that isn't story. That's just filler trash, in reality. So you have to just be able to enjoy the short stories in The Witcher 3. I don't like Witcher 3. No, it sucks. But that's beside the point. Like, you have to be able to look at the individual components of a game, right? Because most people don't do that. Most people, when they look at a game, they just see the whole package and like how it made them feel. And they're like, yeah, I kind of enjoyed this game because it was cool, and then they think it has a good story. That's how most people work. But like The Witcher 3 it's not a good game. But the story is, or the writing, like the side quest writing, the quality of it is exemplary within the context of like any other video game. Hello, Collie. We're making a tactics RPG. Right now, I'm not working. I'm just spurging out because people are saying that video games are good when they're in fact not good. Cannot abide by this. But yeah. Similar to FE or XCOM or whatever? No, it's not similar to anything. It has a grid movement system. So if that makes it similar to something, then... I don't know. I can play some units here. I don't really have that much gameplay implemented right now, but... Jesus Christ, Arcturus. Why Unity? Because Unity is a good engine, but we're switching away from Unity because Unity, the company, is retarded and trash. Now I'm still, I'm just gonna finish working on the combat, and on the side I'm moving over to monogame right now. But basically... Oh. Movement is bugged? Why is movement bugged? Okay, I've broken movement somehow. That's interesting. Oh shit, you can't move at all? How the fuck did that break? That is weird. Like, really weird. Okay, now it works. Yes. Okay. So basically you can move around, you can move in, and you can attack a target. Okay, he doesn't have enough AP to do anything. But she has a bunch of different abilities here, just because I've been working on implementing these things. Okay, goodbye. Farewell. Never come by again. Alright, never mind. So... what's going to... We added this. Add movement AP cost mouse hover. Oh yeah, fix cooldowns. Fix cooldowns. So how do we want to do that? It's a little bit tricky to figure out. I think we will do it this way, where we go to our test tile controller mesh, we go find combat, and here we're gonna pop in a public int64, or rather it's a long, and we're gonna call this combat time. And should it be see, that's the question, like, do I want to deal with half seconds? Or should I just keep everything as seconds? I think I want to keep everything as seconds. Just to keep things simple. And then when we say enter combat mode, we're gonna say combat time equals 0. And then we're gonna say progress turn, right? And here it says progress turn. And then we'll say combat time. See, here it's a float. Plus equals time passed. And if it is not a status effect, then target character equals current turn dot unit. And then what we want to do is we want to say Let's go to the unit, which is object script, and we're gonna say public void progress cooldowns. It's gonna say int long combat time, and then we're gonna say for length equals LOT object data dot skills dot length dot count. If object data equals null, then we return. And here we're gonna say skills I dot cooldown time is minus equals combat time minus last previous turn combat time. We're gonna say previous turn combat time however, we're gonna say if cooldown is greater than 0 and cooldown time is greater than 0, then we'll do this. We'll also write another one called public void reset cooldowns. And that's just gonna take this. Same thing there. Here we're gonna say cooldown time equals 0. Public void reset charges. Charges spent equals 0. But we should also do this for the items. Items. And I guess it's possible that we might have items with cooldowns, though that's less likely, but it might be. Reset. What should I say? Reset. Combat. Functions. Perhaps. And then here we're just gonna do reset charges. Reset cooldowns. There might be another function for public void reset status effects. That I don't want to bother with right now. That's not what we need here. We need progress cooldowns. Current turn.unit dot progress cooldowns. Combat time. And then we want to say current turn.unit dot previous turn combat time equals combat time. Here, if is less than 0, then equals 0, obviously. And then again, this could be items. Okay. Hmm. Holy shit, if I have to look at another pixel art shader video, I'm going to... do something in Minecraft. Oh my fucking god. It doesn't work. There's not a single game that has a pixel art shader that looks good. It has never been done. Not once. I'm not Russian! Alright. So I might be actually progressing the cooldowns here. I'm not sure. Let's take a look at... overhead slash. So here I'm setting the cooldown time to be this, but cooldown time should actually be set to cooldown simply. So let's try this and see what happens now. This might genuinely be enough. Yeah. So now if we use overhead slash, it goes on cooldown. Now it has 7. Is that a bit... is that just a happy coincidence, or... yeah, no, it does work. Meaning now it's 7 every time there, because that's when she gets to move again. But what if we move her up here? And then we use... okay, never mind. She can move 4 squares and then use overhead slash. It's on 7 again? That's not right. That's actually not right. That makes no sense. Hello, Diggs. How's it going? Let's see what this says. This is unfortunately going to be a bunch of console things here, or console prints. We'll see. And make heads and tails of. So if he hits end turn now, his turn delay is 100. Ah. Combat turn speed is 10, not 100. Let's do it like this. Plus. 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 That way we can see the individual values. Turn delay 10 plus 0. How did that become 100 under any circumstances? Oh, I know how. It was writing 10 and 0. Must have. Yeah, it was writing 10 and 0. Okay, so her ending her turn is 8. He is 10. Her moving and then ending is 9. Him moving, attacking is 12. That's not right. See here, it does executability. And what we want to do in executability is this gets set to action to trigger, and that runs initiate or initialize. And in initialize, let's go into the base initialize. And the base initialize should always say user dot action points spent plus equals AP cost. So I think that's what's missing. Like here, it's done there. Here we're changing the face direction, which is incorrect. Oh, my ass, dude. Oh. Overhead slash action point spent. No longer need that. This also. Energy should be increased always if it's something that does that. Triple stab. Did I do this on everything except for Benefir double stab? Yeah, okay. So it was actually working on everything except for the one I was testing. Which I guess is lucky, because then now I actually fixed the issue long term. So now end turn, turn delay 8. Oh, it was his turn? Turn delay 8. Why does it say 8? Why is her turn delay? Because her speed is 8. And this guy is delayed by 10. Now if she moves, she's delayed by 9. If he moves, he is delayed by 11. If she moves, well, if she uses overhead slash, he's now delayed by 14. If he attacks, he's delayed by 12, so that's plus 4. Now if she moves... Oh, that was a bug. And attacks, she is now delayed by 16. So if she moves... Oh, yeah, it's... Wait. Huh? Is this still bugged? Yeah. They're still not setting their positions correctly. Holy shit. I thought I had fixed that. Anyway, if she can't move... Okay, we have to restart. Okay, that's a bug that has to be fixed. Fix movement, fix path binding to properly assign as soft colliders. Fix path binding question mark. Place unit on the left of another unit and then move. Might be caused by the above mentioned bug. It actually probably was. But now if she moves and then she uses overhead slash, now it's 5. Thank God. Okay, so now we are correctly getting a different cooldown there, right? So now there are certain things we can do here, right? With this kind of stuff, you can do tiny things with like talents and stuff that seem kind of weak, but it's actually like super strong. Like, for example, if overhead slash here, basically if you stand still and use it, then you can't use it on your next turn because it's on cooldown. Because just how long your delay is until the next turn. But then you could have a talent that reduces its cooldown by like 5, like this amount, to make you able to use it like twice in a row or multiple times in a row if you're standing still. Now, I'm not saying that that's what should happen here, but small stuff like that it is things you can have great effect with talent choices and stuff that might not be apparent when you look at the talent, because you might just look at it and be like, yeah, okay, this is like just cooldown reduction, that's boring, but in reality it will let you do things you couldn't do before. For example, a triple stab here, you could have a talent that gives it like 1 more stack on the bleed, which is boring, kind of, but you could make it so that triple stab will like fall off the enemy. The bleed from triple stab would fall off on their next turn, and then you can't do overhead slash afterwards. But if you spec into triple stab, then you get enough stacks that it maintains itself, and that way you can combo triple stab with yourself with overhead slash. Those are small kind of things you could do with some kind of talent tree, for one. It will also make triple stab more powerful because the bleeds are really strong right now. But when you have a slightly more advanced system, you can do little things like that instead of just giving something more damage. I don't think more damage is ever something a talent should do. It should do more damage in a roundabout way. It should make something else available. It should give you a new ability. It should change how an ability works. It should change how it allows you to interact with other things, right? It shouldn't ever be just a triple stab does more damage. Even though that might be what it does, like when you just look at it, it should also unlock something else that you can do, right? For example, the idea here with Empower Blade was to make it so that like overhead slash does more damage against the staggered target, right? Right now it does against bleeding, but I don't want it to do that. I want it to do against staggered targets, but we don't have anything that can stagger. So what I want Empower Blade to make all of our abilities stronger, but it should make overhead slash extra powerful. But that could be a talent in and of itself, where if you have Empower Blade active and you use overhead slash, then you get like a burn effect on the enemy. While if you don't have that talent, it does more damage, right? Just like normal. Or something to that effect. So that it's not just more damage, it's actually like... Well, it is, right? But it's still more interesting. Plus, you could also have something that, burning can interact with or do that, something else can't, for example. What that would be, I don't know. I also don't know what burning would do. Not really sure. We'll have to figure something out. Obviously, it should do damage, but should it do anything more than that? Because then you have, like... I kind of want the status effects to do something extra that isn't just damage, right? Because otherwise you end up with burning, poison, bleed, and they all work exactly the same. It's just like this one does damage slightly faster, this one does damage slightly slower, and this one, does damage in the middle ground. And I want to avoid that to some degree. I want them to have... I still want them to do kind of the same-ish thing, but I want them to be still different enough from each other that it's not boring. And so that it makes some sense to use it. But it's kind of difficult to do to do something actually interesting with them, so... We'll see what we think of. We just gotta try something, right? And just see how it feels. And then tweak it from there. It's that simple. That's how you make games. You just kind of do something and then you iterate on it. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to do this. In the command selection window, we do init command. And then here we do some shit. And it does set unavailable there. And here it also does set unavailable. And here it also does set unavailable. We'll do this. And then here I want to do AP cost text, right? AP cost icon. If action.ap cost is greater than main controller.current turn. Had fun with BG3? I didn't. It was fucking dog shit. I tried it. It was like, I thought it was gonna be like an above average RPG, but it was like 2 out of 10. It was absolutely horrendous. It was like 100 times worse than I thought it was gonna be. And yeah, there are no like character storylines. It's just character have a sex with. That's all there is. And all the characters have the worst storylines imaginable. Because they're all the chosen one. Every single one is the chosen one. They're all Anakin Skywalker, basically. I got to the Githyanki encampment, and then I killed them all, and then I got killed in a cutscene when I talked to their queen, and then I uninstalled the game. What's wrong with it? All of it is wrong. Like, there's so much wrong with this game, it's so fucking dog shit. It doesn't have a story. Like, people... I've heard people say that Act 1 is like the best RPG act that they've played in their lives. And I absolutely don't understand. Like, it's literally the single worst RPG act I've ever played in my life. Because there is no story. It's just fucking trash. You're kidnapped by mind flayers, and then you crash land. And then it takes like 40 hours until the story progresses. Because everything else surrounding that is just wandering around, doing side quests. Like, all of Act 1 is a side quest. You're not doing anything. You go to the druids. I don't even know what the druids were doing, because I attacked them. And then you go to the goblins, and they're like, oh yeah, we're part of the Absolute. And you're like, okay. And then you do some quests for them, or you kill them, it doesn't matter, because they don't... It doesn't tell you anything, you don't progress the story or anything. At most, you get like a little bit of tidbits about the Absolute. And then you go down into the Underdark, and you spend 10 hours or more in the Underdark. And in the Underdark, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. The only thing you find in the Underdark is there's one Absolute guy there, and you kill him and you get a tadpole. It doesn't progress the story. It doesn't give you any information about the Absolute. It doesn't do anything. So then you leave the Underdark, because it was literally just a waste of time, only there to give you XP. And then you go to the next area. The Druid and Goblin was literally the main part of the story. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's no story there. It's just trash. It's just a fucking drivel. Either that or I missed it somehow. What's the story? There are tadpoles in your brain. Illithids are trying to take over the world, kinda, I guess. That it takes like until you get to the Githyanki queen to them to finally give you like some additional like story progression. I could pretty much finish Baldur's Gate 1 in all of that time. I think Baldur's Gate 1 has no story. And Baldur's Gate 1's story is 100 times better than Baldur's Gate 3. Even though it's shit. It's like the intro to Baldur's Gate 1 is better than all of the story I've seen in Baldur's Gate 3 combined. It doesn't help that Baldur's Gate 3 is D&D, because D&D is also the worst RPG combat system ever made. Because the entire game is literally just 40 to 60% hit chances. And then your characters get killed in one turn. So it's like either you win instantly, or one of your guys gets insta-killed and then you quick load. So like until you get to maybe the end of Act 2 or start of Act 3, the system doesn't even make any sense. Because you're just focusing the boss and insta-killing him in one turn. And then they focus on like your caster and then he dies in one turn. And otherwise, the entire game is just a slow slog wandering around doing nothing. You're just kind of going into random buildings and... It's trash. Like, it's literally 2 out of 10. It's also buggy as shit. And the music sucks. Like, it's really, really bad. And all the characters are horrible. Like there's not a single character in the cast that's actually tolerable. They're all the chosen one, and they're all bitchy and whiny. Yeah, they're terrible. I thought Gale was like the least obnoxious guy. And his backstory is like the worst one. Like, it was so bad. Oh my god, holy shit. It's like, yeah, I'm a level 1 mage. Also, I had sex with the god of magic. And then she like cursed me because I tried to become a god. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's so stupid. Combat gets better, yeah, but that's how it is in all D&D games. But it's not that it becomes better, it's that it becomes less RNG. But the truth of the matter is that it doesn't really have any gameplay depth. Like, not much. Also, every single ability that might add to the gameplay depth, like knockdowns or disarms or stuff like that, have like literally 10% chance of succeeding. I had my paladin have hammer on him, and that hammer had a knockdown. I used it every single encounter, and it never worked. Not once. Against anything. Like, nothing works. It's RNG on RNG, and like all of that shit is like 1% chance of succeeding. So bad. What an absolute fucking piece of shit game. And then it's chock full of SJW garbage. You notice it especially if you don't like the main characters and you go and grab some hirelings instead. That's what I did. Then they're all like fucking gobbledygook gender bender trash. I grabbed an orc
because I wanted male characters because women are annoying. So I grabbed the male paladin orc, and then I accidentally engaged in conversation with the orc with an NPC, and the NPC was like, "A lass like you," and I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck?" So I looked at it like, "Does she have boobs or does he have boobs?" No, no boobs. He's got a male voice, a name that seems male. So then I just like popped off his clothes. Oh shit, yeah, he has a vagina. Yeah, okay. Doesn't have any boobs though. So he doesn't have like a bra or anything, but he has no penis. Just so trash. Holy shit, dude. It's absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, in Original Sin 2, um I just did the story with the characters I had. I played with the dwarf in Original Sin 2 because I thought he was cool. And I did all of his story. And then I was like, yeah, we're like buddies. And then at the end, you're on your ship and you're about to head into the final battle, and they're like, okay, this is the end point of no return. If you wanna, you know, talk with one of your party members, you should do that now. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head off and talk with the dwarf. And he's like, oh hell yeah, like you wanna head down below deck? I'm like, yeah, sure, all right. We're gonna go and drink some beer. And then you go down, and you get railroaded into an unskippable dwarf sex scene with only one dialogue choice the whole time through. I can't get over that. Like I tell that story all the time because it's just so dog shit. Holy shit! Like Baldur's Gate 3 is such a fucking piece of shit. I don't understand. The story is bad. Pathfinder's story is 100 times better. Pathfinder actually has a good storyline. Like the actual story progression and the acts are fucking great in Pathfinder, to be honest. Um, is the overall story really good? Eh, it's actually not bad. But it's 100 times better than this fucking trash. There's actually like a mystery going on there. And you progress the thing the whole time. Every act has more story, every act. Like, I don't understand how Baldur's Gate 3 is good. It's fucking garbage. It's like it's just a bunch of girls and like people who have never played an RPG before who are thinking it's good. Like that's the what I'm feeling. It's so bad. Like I can't get over how bad it is. It's fucking trash. Literally the fucking worst game in the entire world. What a fucking piece of shit. Holy shit. I had fun with Shadow Heart's questline? Okay. I'm sure she's the chosen one, and she's gonna become the chosen one of Shar, and I don't know. I don't care. It's just fucking trash, dude. What an absolute fucking piece of shit. And they also made the D&D combat worse. They somehow made D&D combat worse, which is impressive. Because they added their little jump button, and the jump button lets you like bypass people's aggro or their threat area. So every single enemy, like even in Original Sin 2, every single character, every single enemy had a teleport. Like, if they were melee, they had a teleport. Every single character had a teleport, like a literal full-screen teleport. So, positioning didn't matter. And here I was like, okay, they removed the teleports. Maybe now the game isn't garbage. But instead, they made it so that you can move across the entire screen in one turn. If you get caught in somebody's threat, it doesn't matter. You can just run past. Because they have like a 40% chance to hit anyway, so you just run past it. Or you literally jump through it, because the jump makes you move faster anyway. So there's no reason to not jump. So you just kind of walk in front of them a little bit, and then you jump over them. And then you completely like skipped everything. And every single enemy, like every single monster, just like you can't put a tank in front of your other characters, because they just jump over it. And then they just go fuck up your backline. Or literally just the jump AoEs your entire party for like 30 damage. Oh, it's so bad. Like, there are like two things about the game maybe that I like. Like, I don't know. The inventory system is absolutely horrendous dog shit. I like the reactions in combat. Having the reaction thing is kind of cool. But it's also badly implemented to the point where it's annoying. Because every time you attack, you get a little pop-up that says, do you want to turn this random attack into a crit? Okay. And then you have to press no every single time you attack. But otherwise, like the defensive ones where you can like cast shield when somebody attacks you and negate the attack, that was actually really good. I like that. What's the other thing? I don't even remember what the other thing was anymore. It was probably nothing important. It sucks. The combat is absolutely unbearable. It is not bearable at all. It's not bearable whatsoever. It is absolutely unbearable. Incredibly unbearable. It is bearable if you can use the environment against your enemy, because then you just delete the encounter and then you don't have to play the game. So yeah, when you can use the environment, it's good, because then you don't have to play it. Then you can just shoot a barrel and then the entire encounter just dies. Happened like 2 or 3 times. It was nice. Hate playing the game. I hate when I have to play the game. I hate when a game has combat systems that I have to use. That's the worst. I'm so tired. I'm tired of mediocrity. I'm tired of mediocre fucking bullshit. I'm so tired. People are still like at Diablo 2's gameplay is the best ARPG ever made. But like that's where people are. Shit. I don't know what makes me more tired, the state of gaming or the state of gamers. People still say that Skyrim has good gameplay, which is absolutely the most... Like, you're barely human if you say that. Like... What is wrong with you? It's like... It's like your little tadpole barely developing consciousness. And you're like, nyam nyam. This algae is the best food ever made. Oh, it's so tiresome. Pushing is also trash. Like, yeah, it's kind of fun to push people down ledges. But in reality, you can push people every single turn. So it's just like a fucking series of pushing all the time. So bad. Starfield was horrible? No, it wasn't. Starfield wasn't horrible. Starfield was like 1 point lower than Skyrim. There's like no difference whatsoever in quality. It's 1 point lower than the best game ever made. At best. At most. Like, it's just like no difference. Literally the same game. It has the same gameplay. In every single way. All their games are the same game. It's dog shit? Well, yeah. Yeah, it is dog shit. But all I'm saying is that Skyrim is the best game ever made, according to everybody. And Starfield is not worse than Skyrim. Like, the only thing that is worse is that the environments are not as comfy. Otherwise, it's the same game. Like, the story is the same. The gameplay is the same. The exploration is the same. Like, it's the same. The bugs are the same. Yeah, that's AAA games are Lego pieces nowadays. Like, they don't develop their own stuff anymore. Like, at best, they have like a core system that they might be maintaining, but they like in like 90% of cases, the people who made the engine are long gone from the studio in most of the AAA studios. So they have like this code base that they're kind of maintaining. And then they buy like packages, like UI packages and audio packages and this and that package, and then they kind of just plug it in and plug it all together and try to get it to work with what code base they have. Like, that's how AAA game development works. Very few studios do anything more than that. Let's see here. Now if I open this, these are all available. If we close it and then we move over here, now this one is unavailable. And if we move over here, now they're all unavailable. Oh yeah, dude. I'm gonna take a short. All right, do that. I hope you have as fun with that as with the Shadow Hearts storyline. I know I would. All right, so now we don't get. No, we do get commands there. Have the handle here. How does the handle work exactly? Slider position. Move content. Reset. Public void reset content position. And we're gonna say anchored position is 0, and then we do move content. We can do a check position too, why not? And then here we combat command button. Combat command button. That will init this shit. Init window. Target window. Command selection window is initialized. And it's then gonna say slider dot reset content position. I should write down what I've done again every week. So now we... Command selection window. Slider. It's right there. H. Oh, slider rect is not set. Init element. Is that good enough? Alright, that seems to work. This should be necessary. Cosmetic handle. Yeah, that's fine for now. What else did we do? Fix cooldowns. They are fixed. Add armor mitigation. Add display showing that. Yeah. I think we'll settle for that today. It was 2 split 2-hour streams. I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna go and do art stuff. No. Yeah. Bye bye.